guys, welcome back to my Final Fantasy VII Remake solo character boss fights run. And whoopsies, we have back-to-back Tifa fights. Oh well. I mean, I can't change it now because it's already been long recorded and stuff, and I don't want to go back and change it. I suppose I could have used Barret during this fight, because that would have mixed it up. Because I was sitting there thinking about it too. I was like, how many Barret fights do I actually have? I think it was like 3. I do 3 of them. This one would have been 4. But it was like a while before we do the Crab Warden, before we get to this boss fight, because there's like a whole bunch, there's like a whole bunch of stuff that leads up to this that I guess I completely forgot that Tifa was the one I used in the ghost fight. But then again, I tend to kind of forget that ghost fight ever exists. So, can you blame me? And to be honest, like, if I wanted to do a no damage run on this boss, I would probably want to use Tifa anyways. Because when I was... And I take that back. When I said Airbuster was the first hard boss, nah, this guy is. At least solo-like. With all the characters, I don't think he's a very tough fight. But when I was fighting him solo, this one actually made me have to like restart the fight a few times to be like, oh, now I have to use this materia to account for this, and I'll talk about that when I get to that bit. But this is actually really fun. This was like the first time I got challenged, and I was like, all right, sweet, because I died several times because Tifa's a glass cannon. I think all my characters are kind of a glass cannon except Barret. Barret, has high defense naturally anyways. So, and he could probably tank a lot of the stuff in this fight. Cloud could probably take a little bit more punishment than Tifa, but Tifa being the glass cannon, that she has low HP. Like this fight can go sideways really fast, really fast. And it was really fun. So I actually really enjoyed like doing this fight over and over again. I was like, all right, sweet. Now I'm being challenged. Now I have to think about my strategies a bit more. And yeah, it was really cool. It's a really fun fight. I started to appreciate it a little bit more. And then also this is where I learned to finally start showing my materia setups. So you'll see that I have elemental materia attached to lightning, since the Crab Warden is weak to lightning. I also have barrier as well. Ifrit as my materia. Yeah, I even showed that I'm on hard mode too, though. So that was like the first time since the very first boss fight that I actually showed the difficulty mode that I was on. But I also, I had barrier. Barrier also, barrier was there because I noticed at times I was taking damage. Like, I could take a lot of damage really fast. And sometimes I just die. Because this guy can do some damage to you as well. And there's also some parts where he summons some minions. Where he'll summon I forget what they're called, but they'll sit there hovering around him and they'll shoot you and stuff. So that could cause some problems. That could cause a lot of problems. And this was like the first fight where I realized, I was like, hey man, I could do this thing on no damage. For real. Because if you were just to fight the Crab Warden by himself, I think this would be the easiest one to no damage. Like, definitely. And I think this is where I really started, I think this was the fight that I really started to use refocus, like, all the time. Because I realized I was like, having 3 ATB gauges is just immensely helpful. Because I even said this before, I think in one of my other videos, where I said that like having just 3 limits you standing around waiting for your ATB to charge, I could spend more time actually using my abilities that do the most damage, And then like considering using Unbridled Strength, I can use it even more now because it feels like I always have ATB gauge up. Then you can see I've taken no damage. So yeah, if this whole fight was just this, that was really cool. I love doing that. Using the True Strike, she just straight up like 6-inch punches the dude, and then the actual boss flies back. It's so badass. That's so badass. It just like shows her power. She like punches his ass backwards. So okay. So this is where the lightning. This is where I started to like. This was the phase where I had to start changing things up because this is where things went bad for me. Because he summons these slug rays that'll do this luminous blast. Okay, and if they hit you with it, you're gonna get stunned. Okay. And you're going to notice this is kind of a theme for some of these bosses. Well, they have this ability where they just stun lock your character into place. And that's incredibly devastating for being a solo character. Because you're going to sit there and you got to wait for the stun to go. And then the boss has like free reign to basically hit you with a big ass attack. Which, depending on where your HP is, will kill you. And that's happened to me several times. It happened to me a couple times in this fight. Well, that's where I started to change it up, where I'm like, you know what? I need to actually cast lightning on these slug rays when he summons them. Because I was expecting my AI companions to take care of them. My very first fight, they did. Cloud and Barret took care of the slug rays, no problem. And I'm like, alright, cool. So I never have to focus on them because the AI will do it. Then it got to a point where Cloud just started dying. Cloud just started dying. And then, like, Barret wasn't really shooting them as frequently as I would have liked. So I was like, well, shit. I guess I'm going to have to do it myself. So let's just throw some lightning at them, get them out of the way, because they kept hitting me with the Luminous Blast. Then the Crab Warden would kill me, because sometimes I'd have, like, 3,000 HP or lower, you know? And so, yeah. And then considering I just take them out with, like, one Thundara, I'm like, okay, yeah, why would I not do this? You know, and yeah, see, these were the kinds of things that I had to learn to do, you know, when I didn't really do them before in the fight, because obviously since you're switching characters a lot more often, you know, if you're just playing this normally, the Luminous Blast is not really that big of a deal, and if you got hit with it, you would just switch to another character anyways, and then heal when necessary. You can kind of brute force it, I guess. And then this is definitely the phase where things can go bad in a hurry. And there was actually a few times where it did. Where I get to the third phase, he was almost dead, and then like all of a sudden I just get killed. Speaking of getting killed, Cloud's getting blown up over here, but that's fine. What I ended up really doing for like the AI companions is I would put on the crescent full moon accessory, which means that they take less damage when they're AI controlled. Yeah, this move can really do some damage to you. But obviously it's a very big telegraph move. So what they want you to do is to take out, in order to get the stagger on him, you have to take out the two missile launchers, I think, that are on his side there. You can throw Thundara spells at him as well. Because I think this is the end of the chapter as well. So go ahead and use all your MP. You don't even need to be as frugal as I am. For some reason in hard mode, I'm really frugal with my MP. I tend to kind of like, even in the boss fights, I'm still like not using it all that often. There's one boss fight where I burn all of it, and I do that on purpose. I'm just like, no, I might as well use all of it. Cloud is dead. Oh no. That's alright. As long as we're not dead, it's totally fine. Yeah, look at her. You just dance around. Like, this is definitely the character I would use if I was trying to do no damage. Especially. Because considering how fast Tifa can move, yeah, she can definitely avoid a lot of his attacks. And that's the thing, like, if you play this right, like, with her being squishy, you can basically mitigate that just by being able to just parry dash all over the place, you know? Yeah, look at that. We just run circles around him. Well, he's trying to lock onto us with his flamethrower. I don't know what that was, but he hit me with that. I think he did his he did his charge or whatever. He's doing the flamethrower. Let's hit him with Thundara while we're back here. Bam. Yeah, her magic damage is not that high, but it's fine. Because once we got this stagger, I think this fight's over at this point. Yeah, the fight's over. So we took out the pilot. Now his generator's exposed. Almost got greedy. I was like, no, let's not get greedy here. Yeah, another pain in the ass thing about a no damage would be these like fireballs that he shoots out. Because when he shoots them out, you know, they'll linger on the ground, and if you walk over them, you'll take damage. So that would kind of suck. You know, you're doing no damage. You get to the end bit, and he shoots out those little fireballs, and you walk into it by accident, and you go, "Oh, rip your no damage." Rip the no damage, man. But yeah, this was definitely the first fight where I was like, hell yeah, I'm in it. You know, this is fun now, because like the earlier ones, they're pretty easy. So I think with that, I'll end off this video, let the cutscene play out, and then I will see you guys in the next one. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys then. Peace.
Failure to properly prepare the armor.
No, sir. All modules were confirmed fully operational. It's far more likely, given the circumstances, that the sensors were overloaded.
Is that so?
All the sensors in Section E are inoperable.
The President.
Yes. Yes. Everything is fine, sir. Better, even. There's been a development. Yes. Understood, sir. We know exactly where they were headed. If the armor is intact, then you'd best determine the nature of this anomaly soon. Should you fail to do so, you will deal with our intruders personally.
Yes, sir.
Don't worry. I treat my people more than fairly. So don't disappoint me.
The passage is beyond these shipping containers.